the fullest. They load me in the bay like he 40. I be sitting inside of the Moreland. Ain't no strings attached, keeping it cordless. Calling, but I keep ignoring it. Ain't no stopping, I'm keeping it foreign it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Man, they can't stop me, I'm going it. Every time
We welcome all of you to Nissan Stadium on the banks of the Cumberland River in downtown Nashville, Tennessee. This crowd here fired up for football as a moment ago their Titans were introduced. This should be a good one as the Titans get set to match up with the Houston Texans. The children will groan. It's the final weekend of summer, but we've got the NFL, and we're underway on EA Sports. This will be taken to the back of the end zone. And from back there, a wise move. He'll just sit on this one, and it'll come out to the 25. Now a first carry for Lamar Miller. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
Again, it's Miller. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. The big man, Jarrell Casey, in on the stop.
Well, after what we just saw, we know that with third down coming up, this is not a gimme for the offense. They've got to figure out what they want to do. Do they challenge their offensive line and try and run it? Or do they go ahead and concede that this is a tough defense and put it in the air?
Watson on third down. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. And he's going to have a first down as he's brought down at the 44-yard line. So that'll get him the first down as they get 9 yards out of that quick slant. They go play action here on first down. And he gets this one to Bruce Ellington. And he's brought down. They call it a gain of 19, and it moves the chains. So there on that play, offensively, they ran the crossing route. Defense was in zone coverage. So as a former DB, how tough is it to defend that?
It's really difficult because your natural inclination is to chase the receiver and maybe leave your zone. So you have to have discipline in order to talk to your other coverage guys and let him know that that receiver's crossing from your zone to the next zone. He's coming your way. Make sure you have him. And then when the ball is actually thrown, secure the tackle. When they're moving on crossing routes, if you miss a tackle, it usually results in a big play. One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Fight, but he can't get away forever, and down he goes. Brian Orakpo coming hard that time. He's able to run him down for a loss of 12. Gonna need something special here on third and long after that sack. What does Watson have in his arsenal? Out of the gun, Watson. Hopkins on the grab over the middle. And he's going to get it down to the 33-yard line here. 14 yards is the pickup there, but it'll still lead to a fourth down. Kaimi Fairbairn now to attempt the Texan field goal. From the left hash, it's an even 50-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. And this This will remain a scoreless game. So a good starting field position for him here as they come up 1st and 10. Now a carry for the shifty Dion Lewis. And that play is blown up, losing yardage back at the 35. Now that's going to go as a loss of 6, and it'll set him back for 2nd down. On play action, Mariota. Trying to force it to his tight end, Walker, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 42. And nearly a touchdown as they finally stop him down at about the 3-yard line.
I think that interception happened for 2 reasons. Quarterback gets outside the pocket and panics a little bit, and receiver doesn't make sure he's absolutely in an open spot. So there's a guy lurking, took the ball from him.
Yeah, so don't wave your arms, right, as a receiver if you're not wide open.
Got to know that you're open. Otherwise, just don't do it.
They'll try to punch it in with Miller. And he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Lamar Miller, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Texans have taken the early lead. Heck of a start to his season. He had 2 touchdowns in the opener last week, another one here in week 2.
Well, I don't want to call him a touchdown machine this early, but sometimes you get locked in, and you feel good about things. You get into that zone, and those touchdowns come in bunches. He may be off to that kind of a start.
It's like he was shot out of a cannon. I would imagine success this early, great momentum going forward for the rest of the year.
He keeps this up, they'll soon be chanting MVP anytime he touches the ball.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. Now the Titans getting set to go. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Christian Covington in there to bury him for a loss of 11. Well, they're in some hot water now. After that sack, it's 2nd and 21.
Let's go. One.
Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. Throwing over the middle, but it's incomplete. One of his main targets, Delaney Walker, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd down. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
3rd and long here for Mariota. He's going to loft one deep over the middle. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. I know he wants to get his team back in the game, but a 50-50 ball right there that maybe was a little questionable.
Yeah, he's pretty lucky to get that one back. I think that sometimes these quarterbacks play with a lot of confidence that borders on arrogance, and that can put your team in some Dutch.
Yeah, especially maybe want to look at some safer routes after the interception he had that ended their last drive. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. Now the Texans offense, they head back out to do battle here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
A first down carry now for Miller. And he'll get this into enemy territory, but not by much as he's down to the 48. Wesley Woodyard there on the tackle. You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Rolling to his right. And he finds a man on the crossing route. And brought down, but able to get it to their 30-yard line. A big one there for the Texans, 18 yards.
Reset.
Now a play fake here on first down. Flush to his right. 11 more yards that go around, a first down as well.
I think the last two plays really illustrate how difficult it is to game plan against this guy because you know he can throw the football, but how about his use of legs as well? What we call those broken plays, you can't account for them.
Yeah, those plays, those two that you just mentioned, a microcosm really of how he can hurt you. They'll run it now out of the gun. So a good spin move there before he's taken down. A nice little gain. 9 yards is the pickup there, and they'll have a 2nd and 1. And maybe the wrong read there as he's going to go down immediately. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
So the myth has been shattered. Every cornerback in the league is not just a cover corner. Some of them will stick their nose in there and make plays exactly as we just saw there. A big loss suffered by the offense after that nice tackle.
From the gun on 3rd, Watson. It's hauled in by Ellington. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Bruce Ellington, his first touchdown here of the new campaign. And the Texans will extend their lead. And he's able to put it through. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. That'll be taken in the end zone. Now a hit and a loose football. And the Texans scoop it. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
As that ball got away from him and he saw the opposing team recover it.
You felt his pain?
Oh, I felt his pain, and you know what was going through his head. Tuck it away. Take care of the ball. All the things he hears all week in practice, he didn't carry it over into the game.
Watson going to give this one to Miller. Finding room to the 20. And he's going to get it down to the 14-yard line. Give him 17 on the pickup there, and the Texans also get a new set of downs.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
On first down, Watson. And he's got it. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Bruce Ellington with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Texans will add on to their lead. And he'll bang that one through. An update from that game going on in the Meadowlands. It's the Dolphins that have grabbed the early lead over the Jets. I have a feeling that one's going to stay tight throughout. We'll continue to monitor. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he'll probably wish he'd reconsidered here. It will cost him 10 yards as he's down at the 15.
Well, conventional football 101, tells us if you don't get it back to the 20-yard line on a kickoff return, that's a disappointment. But some of these team special teams coaches, with approval by the head coach, they give them full authority to go ahead and bring it out and try to be aggressive, almost what we call the green light, red light theory. Green light means go, red light means stop. Looks like he had green on that play.
A first down throw for Mariota. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. A second down throw here for Mariota. Going deep here for Taylor. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. It's the Honey Badger, Tyrann Mathieu. And his guys are going to take over at the 34-yard line.
When a team's turned it over 3 times in the first half, we just look at the offense and say, guys, what are you doing? But instead, we really should be looking at the defense. They've created the takeaways. 2 interceptions, 1 caused fumble. They played awfully well swarming to the ball here in the first half.
Setting up the screen for Miller. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. A good pickup there on first as the screen pass gets him 8.
For a second there, I thought that might break big. Screen pass, looked like it was coming together, looked like there was an opening. Still, ended up with a solid game.
Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 18 seconds to go in the first half. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Watson in the offense going to come up 1st and 10. And he's 8 for 8 now, throwing the ball to start the game. From the 50, it's Watson. Keeps himself upright. Flushed out right. And he's brought down after a good game. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see. Now a first down throw. Watson going deep this time. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Deshaun Watson with his 3rd touchdown pass of this first half. And the Texans will extend their lead.
And that's a lead that excites a team as they head into the half. Good way to finish things off.
Yeah, able to extend that lead, and you always say it, that can totally change the complexion of half number 2.
Yeah, it changes your morale, changes your outlook. But even before that, let's see if they decide to kind of squib kick or what they're going to do on the kickoff, because you don't want to give up a big play right before the half ends.
Good point. The Titans offense now, they get set to head back out here. Typically down in the first half, I might say, oh, you at least need a field goal out of this drive, but they're down to the point where they need a touchdown, don't they?
Yeah, normally, you know me. I mean, you've been around me for a while now, right?
Unfortunately.
I'm sorry about that. But normally, I'm the one preaching patience.
Yeah.
You know, take your time. First half, you still got a chance. I think they're out of patience here. This has to be a drive that gets a touchdown. So if you're the play caller, you're going to that portion of the sheet that says big-time plays, specials, anything you can use to get yourself back into it.
Final play of the half here, Mariota. And they're not able to hook up there, incomplete. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. That'll be taken in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. They've gone to the second quarter in Buffalo, and the Bills have taken the early lead. And we'll keep you abreast of how that one shakes out. Mariota and the Titans break the huddle, 1st and 10 at their own 28-yard line.
Blue 18. 1.
Off the play fake, Mariota. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there. It's 2nd down.
How about a tip of the cap to the defense? They're working against a very mobile quarterback, but all day long they've kept him under wraps. And on that play, they held him to a short gain.
Mariota now on 2nd down. Oh, nearly picked. And maybe lucky there. This guy doesn't drop many defensively. 3rd down.
I know that interception was dropped, and it would have been their 3rd of the game, and I will guarantee you, in the huddle, on the bench, all the defensive guys have been talking about is, we've got this guy right where we want him. Who's going to get the next one? It almost becomes a challenge, and they've missed a golden opportunity.
Escaping the pressure right. And complete to the tight end Walker, right side. And a loss of 3 to bring up 4th. A little risky there when you roll out of that pocket right like he did. You complete the pass, but you don't get anything out of it.
But how many times have we seen when a quarterback exits out of the pocket, doesn't matter if they go left or right, the defense loses its leverage, right? There's a little chaos back there, and receivers come open. Great discipline on that play. They didn't let that happen and held it to no gain.
Let's go.
They're indeed going. It's Mariota. He'll have a 1st down past the 40. And brought down across the 50 to the 49-yard line. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down. Mariota on 1st down. Eluding the pressure right. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. He'll get just a yard on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
Let's go. Mike 51.
2nd down, Mariota. Sets up the screen to Lewis. Evades the tackler and has some space. The Titans efficient passing on this drive. There's another 1st down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
On 1st and 10, here's Mariota. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Pressure, and that's certainly going to be a key to this game going forward. And that time, they were able to get in there and influence the throw. And remember, quarterbacks got to get rid of it. They don't have the Tucker roll that they can fall back on anymore.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
I got 8. 1. Set. Blue 80. 1.
Throwing again. Mariota on 2nd and 10. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense, when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
Mariota now. And he's going to be intercepted a third time. Picked off by Andre Howe. And he is going to get this one back to the 20-yard line. Thought they had something going there to break that goose egg here in the second half, but to no avail.
Hope was alive until that interception. What a terrific play, taking the ball away after it looked like they were starting a drive.
And now that shutout still standing. You know that's something those defensive guys hold a lot of pride on, too.
No doubt about it. They are excited about where they are in this game.
They'll start out on the ground. It's Lamar Miller. And some room to work. And he's brought down after a good gain. That good for 22 and a first down.
And having built that kind of a lead, they're able to do whatever they want right now. All momentum on their side, especially now running the football.
Yeah, you talk about a defense being on their toes. They don't know what's going to hit them next at this point.
No, they went from toes to heels, and they're trying to figure out how to get back to the toes part.
They keep it with Miller on first down. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Texan first down, a 12-yard pickup.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 46. 10th carry down for Lamar Miller. Trying to run inside, but nothing there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, and that's what their job is. And really, a lot of the time, they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
On second down, here's Miller. And he'll go down, and that will do it for the third quarter of action. Back now in Nashville. A lot of folks starting to make their way to the parking lot. Their guys trail big here to begin quarter number 4. The Texans on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. Here it's 3rd and 3. A shotgun snap for Watson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Deshaun Watson, 4 touchdown passes now in the ball game, and the Texans add on.
You have fun with this one, partner?
I am. I mean, he's been fun to watch under center.
We always talk about, getting to the next level, right? When we see people get into the zone, this guy's in the master class right now. What a performance he's putting on, just carving them up.
4 touchdown passes, carving him up is right. Seems like everything he throws is going to be a completion and going in the end zone. To return, here's Michael Campanaro. And here comes Tennessee as they get set to take the field. And 3 interceptions in this game. And I would have to think, I wasn't a quarterback, but number 4 is kind of, you're like, oh, man, I can't throw 4.
No, and what's interesting is, what do the coaches decide to do now? Having thrown 3, do you alter your offensive strategy? Do you take the ball out of his hands and maybe turn to the running game? Or do you have that supreme confidence that he's going to turn things around?
We'll see what they do. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Andre Howe. Oh, and now he bowls him over. This spot in the 4th quarter with that deficit, had to throw the football. Unfortunately, there's the risk of big turnover.
And you know you're going to be throwing against nickel, dime, all sorts of exotic defenses, but you have to do it anyway. Ordinarily, you might want to run the football a little bit, try and get them out of it. But as you noted, this time of the game, this point on the clock, had to throw it.
And the pitch goes to Miller. And some space here. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Lamar Miller with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Texans turn that interception into a touchdown. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Out is the Texans kick team as they'll send this one away. Now Campanaro. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Titan offense now as they make their way back onto the field. And last time, one play interception. So this offense, they should be fresh.
That's a good way of putting it. And I can't wait to see what they decide to do with play calling. Because a one-play drive where you throw an interception, a lot of people think the very next time out, run the football, don't give them a chance.
Maybe play action?
I think maybe you go play action, show your quarterback, get a little confidence in it, and let him fling another one.
And he'll hit his tight end, Walker. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That throw good for 4. It's second down. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it. And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Titans on third down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. They're up against a 3rd and 1 situation.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Throwing, Mariota. And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground. Zach Cunningham coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it'll be 4th down. Here's Brett Kern now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And look at this. It's a fake. And this is incomplete. A huge gamble, and it does not pay off. They fake the punt. It doesn't work out. Well, not only did they try to fake it, they put the ball in the arm of their punter, and it didn't work out.
Not the quarterback.
No.
The punter.
Yeah. Risky.
And it's so funny because when it works, genius. When it doesn't work, not so smart.
Not so genius.
In this case, not so genius, but I do admire that he went for it.
Black 22.
Now a handoff to Miller. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. Rashaan Evans out of Alabama had the tackle defensively. And when do they start thinking about burning these timeouts? They've got all 3 still defensively.
To me, you have to start right now. Here's the time, and that means you've got to stop them on defense, not give up the yardage, use your timeouts in order to get the ball back and try and score yourself. But now is the time to start using those timeouts.
And keep in mind, it'll also stop the clock at the 2-minute warning. Here's Watson now on second down. Flush to his right. And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd. Defensively, celebration time because they finally forced an incompletion. He was perfect throwing the ball to that point.
Yeah, but from his viewpoint, they didn't force the incompletion. He just missed. That's how hot he is right now, and that's how he wants to continue to throw the ball.
Throwing on 3rd down, Watson. And he's got the completion to Hopkins. That'll put him at 77 yards receiving for the ball game. It's a 1st down. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. Here's a give to Miller. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. And give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping. So a jump there defensively.
That's a killer. Watch the football. Don't move across the line of scrimmage until the ball moves.
2nd and 2 now. The penalty leaves them in pretty good shape.
Reset.
Throwing now, Watson. And give them another 6. It's caught for a touchdown, and the blowout continues. Looking like they're well on their way to a 2-0 start. All smiles right now on that sideline, isn't it?
As well there should be. It's hard to win a game in the NFL. We hear it all the time. We know that it's difficult. But guess who's smiling? But inside is thinking 24-hour rule because we're going to have to play again next week.
Boss man.
Oh, without a doubt. The head coach, he wants them to feel good, but at the same time, find a way to keep improving.
Now Campanaro. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Titans offense now, they work their way back onto the field. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this final drive in a lopsided game like this?
For a lot of coaches,
be honest.
Don't forget today. Don't forget what has happened out here.
Yeah, use that as ammo going forward.
Exactly. Take a great look at that scoreboard. Realize how poorly everything went for us today. Coaching, playing, the whole deal. And never forget it because
you're not going to want that feeling again.
No, you don't want that feeling again. And who knows? You may meet up with this team again.
Mariota now to throw on 1st down. Now a desperation throw deep downfield. And now here is another interception. Picked off at the 38. And the return stops just a few yards shy of midfield. They'll spot the ball at the 47-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran a wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. 4th quarter, you've got the big lead. If you're coaching, Charles, you still taking shots like that downfield?
I'd be a little more concerned with running some clock and making sure you're taking care of the lead because you keep flinging it around, you throw a couple of picks, you can put yourself in jeopardy.
And nowhere really to go there. He'll take this up just shy of midfield.
Sometimes your philosophies get challenged at times you don't want them to. They did try to stick to the running game on the first 2 plays. Didn't amount to much.
And now facing a 3rd and long at the outset of this drive. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. Just a yard on the run there. That's going to bring us to a 4th down. Here's Shane Leckler now, as he should be able to pin him back deep here with his first punt. He was only asked to punt once in the victory last week as he sends this one away. 37 yards on the punt with no return. And the Titans will be backed up deep to begin the drive as they take over 1st and 10. Out come the Titans now. They are down big. They have not scored a single point. I don't know. Are they so defeated at this point you just want to get in the locker room, get the heck out of here?
That is one way to approach it. Sometimes coaches say, that's it, okay? It hasn't worked all game. There's no sense in doing something now. Let's get out of here. No one gets hurt. But others will look at it and say, we still have an opportunity to do something.
On the line.
Exactly. You have pride on the line, execution as you look forward and get ready for your next game, and a message to your team. We're not going to quit no matter what the battle is. We're going to finish this thing out.
Keep it rolling, keep it rolling.
Trying to shake off the interception. He'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. So 17 seconds now on the clock here. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
To throw, Mariota. Forced out to his left. And some room to maneuver. And he'll get it up to the 12-yard line here. He'll wind up getting 4 there on his own, but it will leave him now with a third down situation. So, Charles, are able to complete what so often seems to be elusive, a shutout in the NFL. And maybe what's fitting is they ended the game on the field, that defensive unit on the field. What an exclamation mark.
And probably felt like they could go another 60 minutes without anyone putting points on the board against them. That's the confidence you gain throughout when you're pitching a shutout. And they're going to leave the stadium feeling like they're all 10 feet tall.
So for Houston, it's a dream start. 2 wins in 2 early road games. And they'll return home next week to take on the New York Giants. Meanwhile, for Tennessee, they'll drop to 0-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they get a date with the Jaguars in Jacksonville. And for Charles Davis and our entire crew here at EA Sports, I'm Brandon Gaudin saying so long, everybody.